compute. All right, thank you so much for joining the class today. I would go like a beginner so that I would learn so that would get to go through the process together, like we're learning how to find our way through Jira, which is like the most popular tool that is used in Agile project management. And I just found the discovery now a couple of moments before this meeting to see that Jira has even made it free. Before it used to be 7 days free trial, but I think it's now free if the users are less than 10, and it's free forever. So you would soon see that. Let me try and share my screen as we're starting. So today we will just walk through Jira generally. If you have any question, and then you'll see the concept of the epic features, stories, and all those things, and then we'll walk around those. Tell me when you can see my screen, please. Are you able to see my screen? You can do a thumbs up.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I can see your screen.
Excellent.
Simple for everything. Yes.
Okay, so you can see at atlassian.com or atlassian.com. So what I just simply typed in Google is registering a free Jira account. So you can always do that. And then I kept scrolling and I saw Atlassian because that's the name of the owner of Jira. I think it's an Australian company, if I'm sure, if I'm still correct. We can check that out later. Then so start using Jira for free today. So I want to, okay, the other one was showing us what the packages were. How can I get a free Jira account? I think this was what was showing us. So it's showing us that the free account is free forever for 10 users. And of course, unlimited goals, project task and form, backlog list, and all these things. So you'll probably be able to see. And then we have just 2 GB of storage. 100 automations per site per month. And so I think they just decided to make this free for new users. So basically, let me see if it will take my general email address. He has the old one, so I probably would just want to use. Okay, let me try it. My general email address, and let's say, I hope it won't say I should log in because I've used this before. Okay, somehow it says I should log in, right? So continue. Okay, so you can see the step with which I'm taking just to put you through. Your site to be oshuasj@atlassian.net. I can say, okay, let's leave it that way. Continue. You can, if you're creating one for yourself, you can use anything you want. So at this point, let's make a decision. We're all in this together. Should we choose software development? Is that what we want to do, or product management? Of course, this is the most popular one we all choose, but just to give you some degree of freedom to choose. I think basically we should just choose software development, right? Are we game? You can do a thumbs up.
Mr. Charles, software development or product management? Me, I'm already thinking we should do product management, but software development is fine too.
Yeah, these are just to capture data. Basically, not too many differences, as it were. So if we do product management,
Okay. All right.
yeah. So what kind of project management methodology do we want to use? Scrum is the most popular. We mentioned that, right? So we have Scrum here.
Scrum.
Yeah, so we choose Scrum. We say continue. All right, great. So now we have a page where it tells us the name of our project. So Mr. Charles or Dr. Shola, do you want to give us a name for our project? Project Equity Cooperative or project something. Let's just think about a name out.
So you've talked about one. That's good. Project equity cooperative. That's
Okay,
yeah.
equity. Cool. Okay. How familiar are you with Jira? Okay, should I choose not familiar for your purpose so that maybe to take us through? So I don't know what advantage that would mean, but perhaps it want to take us through some orientation, which will also be good for us, right?
Not familiar would be good.
Exactly. I don't want to jump to say familiar. Okay, so we now say get started. Now, so we're on a 30-day. Oh, okay, because it's an old account that I have, I think that's why it's a 30-day premium. If I'd use probably a fresh one, maybe I wouldn't need that. But 30 days is still a good amount of time, right? Okay, so looking at this at Jira, the most important part of it that I get to use every day is the backlog and the board.
Okay.
Yeah, that's like, but this timeline is also very sweet because by the time we create the backlog and the board, we can come back here and put timelines to whatever we want to achieve and when we need the thing to get achieved. So let's say we have 4 things to deliver. You can see I'm already creating an epic. An epic is like you already get the project vision or the product vision, and you have broken it down into maybe 4 major epics, or maybe sometimes it might just even be one epic. Maybe the epic is just integration of your own platform with the banking platform. That might be one epic for you. So you now need the API from the banking end to be exposed so that you can build a solution that will consume the API and be able to give you a display on the UI screen, on the user interface screen. That might just be your epic. So, Mr. Charles, I don't know if you have maybe an area that you want us to talk about that you think is a unique area that you want us to create an epic. Just tell me what the business problem is in that area. We will both think through it and get an epic out. That will be a technical way.
Okay, so right now, using a live experience right now, we are trying to integrate the payment platform to the payment solutions to the platform that we're trying to build.
Okay.
So so that cooperatives who want to new cooperative that want to register will be able to pay for registrations and pay for certificates. So that's what we are trying to do right now. So how much of that? That's what we're trying to do.
So do you know
I
the
don't
name
know.
of the
That's like the
payments?
problem.
What's the name of the payment solution? What's the
Oh my
name? Like,
God.
is it like Paystack? What's this
Yes.
other popular guys? Okay. So
Uh,
we will say
you're correct. Paystack
integrate
or
Paystack with what's the name of your own platform? The solution you have built. Did you give it a name?
Smart Coop. Smart
Smart
Coop.
Smart.
Coop. Smart Cooperative.
Oh,
That's
okay. Is it single word or separate word?
single word.
Okay.
Exactly.
So integrate Paystack with Smart Scope to enable you said certificate payments, right?
Registration and certificate.
Okay, to enable registration.
So
Okay.
the idea here is that if you look at this critically, what we want to do is there are two agencies that need to be paid. The first is the Ekiti State Internal Revenue Service. Those are the ones that get the registration fee, while the certificate fee comes to the Ministry of Commerce. So those are the two. So we want to be able to separate that. If you register, you pay. When it's time for you to pay for registration, it goes directly to EKIRS, that's the State Internal Revenue Service. And
Okay.
when it's time to pay for certificates, it goes to the ministry's account.
Okay, great. So let's start. Let me give you access to this Jira page first so that it will even be good. We can work together at the same time. So please give me your email address.
Okay. KingCharles2020 @gmail.com. CHALZ, ALZ. No, King, CHALZ. There's no R. Then there's no E. Yes, at gmail.com.
Oh, KINGCHLZ 2020 at gmail.com, right?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Dr. Shola, I think it's Adeshola Oniyide, right?
Oniyide 1.
Okay.
Adeshola Oniyide 1
Can you see
at
my
gmail.
spelling? Adeshola
Adeshola
Oniyide.
Oniyide.
Is that correct?
Adeshola Oniyide 1 at gmail.com. That's correct.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'll add from Guno. So so you can either be viewer, member, or administrator, but just for the purpose of knowing everything, I'll give you administrator role, and then add 2 people. Okay.
So from
So you
here, sir,
probably
how
will
many people
get,
can be added here? Is this
it
where you add all the project team?
for
Or
exactly. This is where you add all the project team. Those that are member, those you just want them to view only. Or let me add the other. I think there was one. You can see where I came, right? Add people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I can say, I think I don't know her email again. I want to add the other lady, but okay, let me add my wife. At least I think I should know her own email. So twin 007 at gmail.com. Okay, so you see, I've added, is asking me what role do I want to give her? Is it viewer, member, or administrator? So you can choose
What is
at this
different?
point.
What is different?
Administrator can edit everything on the project page. A member would have limitation to configure the board. You would be able to edit some few things, the stories and general things, but a viewer will not be able to edit anything.
Okay.
Okay, so let me give our administrator as well. Okay, so add. Okay, so on our project now, we have about we have 4 of us, right? Currently. So like I said, okay, so I tried to create one epic the other time. Let me see. Um, is it the free version that is the problem? I should be able to see it immediately. Let me sometimes you may
Maybe it
need
was not
to,
created.
yeah, maybe it wasn't created. I probably didn't click. So integrate pay stack with smart group for reg and certificate. We can use this thing. So normally if I click enter, it should create. Okay, great. So that means it wasn't created. So that's my epic. But remember, epic is like the big thing, is the big idea. So we can then make up our mind and say, okay, we want this integration to happen between October and what's happening? We want it to happen between today, which is October. Can you see my screen, please? October 10.
Yes.
Okay, up till, let's say our go live date is January 2025. So I would drag this to show the timeline for it.
Okay.
Are we good? Now I can create a child issue under my epic. Don't forget, when we were talking about breaking down the project vision or the product vision, we said we can break it down into epic. Can you remember?
Yes.
Now from epic, what can we break it down into? Can you remember that?
Would that not be the stories?
Yeah, but there's something between the epic and the story that you can actually break it down to, depending on how you organize your
This network,
things.
Oh,
God.
oh, the one that will say each one should last like
Oh,
2 to 4 weeks.
No, that's a sprint. We'll soon get to that one. But normally, of course, epics can be broken down directly into story. But there was a day I was trying to explain it to you using the system organ classification in biology, where I say you can break down epic into something into something, then before story. I don't know if you were there, Dr. Shola. I'm not quite sure you were on that call, but
let me check mine.
please check your notes. I want to be sure. So you basically, I know in most literature, what is it? People would say from epic you break down into feature, and then from feature you can break down into story. But there has been different school of thought from it. Some people would just say break down from epic straight into story, and then if you go online, sometimes you even see from theme. Theme is THEME to epic, from epic to story, and then from story to task. That's another form of breakdown. So there has been different, but the most important thing is that you know that you can break down sometimes from epic into feature, from feature into story. Is that fine? And then from story, you can break down into task. So when he now asks you, create a child issue. So that means a child issue will be an issue under an epic. That means you're already breaking down this epic into sub this thing. So you can only have the option of, okay, so in this we have a breakdown from epic to story, or you either have a bug or a task. Remember the other day I was telling you that we only track things at the level of story, but if you want to get it hidden a little, you can take it to the task level from the board. So looking at this, we will leave it at story. This is a story. This green, this one is always a story. When you see this purple, it's telling you about an epic. When you see anything red, it's telling you about a bug. And then this blue is a task. So let's both create maybe like 5 stories under this epic. Oh, are you sure Mr. Charles can hear me? I think I'm hearing some background. Mr. Charles, can you hear me? Hello? Hey, Mr. Charles, can you hear me?
Although Mr. Charles still on the call.
Yeah, but it seems he's even muted now. So even if he's talking, you're speaking on mute. Okay, Dr. Shola, let's go ahead and start breaking this feature into story. So remember that this is a peek into story. Remember that breaking this, you will need the product owner, you will need the development team lead, and you need the members of the dev team too. And of course, you as the scrum master and all those, you will need everyone on the call when you want to do this breakdown. In some organization, we call it a decomp meeting. So decomp means like you're breaking down decomposition. And while you're doing the decomp, you're already typing out what the main epic will be and what the stories will be. In some organization, what they would do is they will first capture every details into Excel document. And then either the product owner, business analyst, or sometimes the scrum master will go ahead and help them impute it into Jira. I hope that's clear. So, and Mr. Charles, in case you can still hear me, if you can do a thumbs up, that would be great, just to be sure you're still with us. Okay, all right, great. So I'll continue then. To break down, the first integration is to build the UI for smart scope integration. Integration. Okay. Oh, sorry. No. Ignore. Sorry, I'm having issues with my system. Just a moment. Okay. Just a moment, please. Wow, I don't know why it's not responding. Okay. Now I can decide not to create this. Let me go to another interface. Let's come to the backlog here and create the issue here. I think it will be a lot faster here. Let me say this is the first this thing. Let me use this interface. I don't know why my system isn't responding on the other interface, but I would like to just copy what I have here. So you come here, you create issue, and then I paste and then enter. That gets created. I can create a second issue and say, instead of saying, I have a UI interface from the smart scope integration, get API details from paystack. So sometimes you might say, write the business requirement document for API integration with Paystack. Okay, so that one would just be like a business task. Oh, sorry. Okay, give me another point. What else can we do? This discussion is like a continuous discussion between the PO, the dev team, and you, so everyone understand what the organizational requirement will be. Another example I can take is get security clearance, or let me say approval for API integration. That might be another one. So you can see that by default, it's keeping everything in to do. I have my epic created. I can say, what is my epic? My epic is integrate this into Paystack. So that's epic one. So every of this story will be under the first epic. So I'm just adding them. So automatically all the stories are created under this epic. I can assign it to people. It is currently unassigned. I can assign it to people on the project team. So I don't know. You guys have not gone to your email to accept the invite that was sent to you. Otherwise, you should list your name here. Dr. Shola, were you able to get into your email to accept the invite that Jira has sent to you?
Let me do that right away.
Please.
You can go ahead with the class. So I'm going there.
All right. Yeah, because I wanted to assign directly to you from here, but no worries. We can take care of that later.
Oh, okay, all right, all right. Let me
Yeah,
do that. A few seconds.
no
I'm on my
problem.
email now. Let me log in. Okay.
Yeah, it will probably ask you to sign in and do some.
Atlassian. Okay, I've
Exactly.
seen the Atlassian admin invited you to join them.
Correct. Click join.
So accept invite. I'm already clicking accept invite now.
Great.
Yes, I've accepted invite. It seems you want to take me to a platform, but I'm waiting for it to do that.
Yeah, I should.
I'm wondering why it's slow. Maybe it's my network.
Yeah, it might be. It's a heavy website, so it's
Okay.
understandable. So while we're waiting, you can see me move something from the backlog here to the sprint one tentative that we've not even started, but I can start it today if we agree on the date and the timeline we use for our sprint. So I just drag it back. I can drag, if anything is no longer needed, I can drag it back to the backlog. So when I was always talking about you have stories in the backlog, this is exactly what I was saying. So you could have, now we have just 4 stories in our backlog that are in this current epic. So let me see if I can create more story. Just thinking about the idea of integration alone. Um, I can say, okay, so I said get security above API integration, build the UI interface for smart cube integration. Um, UI, integrate back and server with DB. So I can add all this to the current sprint that I've created. Oh, okay. Yeah, I want to be sure you are in yet so that let me see if I can assign to you. It's still not showing your name, so you're probably not yet in. Is it still loading?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I
All
think the network is
yeah.
banned because
Okay.
it has said this site cannot be reached. I should reload.
Wow. So we can talk about QA for API integration. We can create a story for, oh, sorry. API integration. We can create a story for UAT for API integration. We can create a story for performance testing for API integration. We can create a story for training of business participants, or we can say training all users. We can create that and then we can say deployment story. Deployment story for API integration. Now, all these things I'm creating are what we call shell stories. You can see that I didn't follow the usual order of as a person or as a member, as a UM manager, I want to show that. So these are just shell stories that with time you can then go to the description and put in all the details that are needed. So you're still not able to load, right? Okay. I'll just
No,
continue.
I think I've loaded now. It
Excellent.
has given, but it's now saying I should sign up to join your team.
Yeah, please. So sign up to join my team, right? Since you already got the invite. So I should be
So
able to see you
enter
on that
email,
Teams. Yeah.
enter email and password. Let me see. I was expecting it to allow me to just sign in with my Google account instead of typing from the beginning.
Yeah, that should be the drill, right?
But let me type since it's asking me to do that.
So
Typing already.
during an interview, I've had someone ask me before that, can you tell me how the interface of Jira looks like? If someone feels, okay,
Okay.
let me just see how long this person has been using Jira. They want to know if you know this tab at the top, which talks about projects, filters, dashboard, teams, plan, and then especially on this side, which talks about timeline, backlog, boards, and goals.
Okay, because as a Scrum Master, you must be able to use it.
Exactly. If you claim you've been using it for years, at least you must be
Yeah.
able to tell them what the interface looks like without going back to look at it or anything. All right. Let me try now. What stage are you now?
I'm wondering why it's not taking my password.
Yeah, you probably have not created a password before, right? So you should have signed up instead of
Okay.
logging.
I'm trying to sign up actually.
Okay.
It's sign up that I'm doing. Sign up to join.
Okay. And what is it saying about your password?
It said my password is not strong enough.
Oh, okay. You need to put. So what we do is you start with a capital letter.
That's
You,
what I'm doing. That's what
yeah,
I'm
then you
doing now.
use at. So you can
Mm,
say use your name. Okay, if you use your name, you might also reject it because your name is part of your email address. So you can use a kitty, capital E at 2027 or 2030 or something. Once you use capital letter and small letter with an at or any other symbol like hash, dollar, percent, and all those, then you can just use a year you won't forget.
mm. Okay. I'm creating another one. Let me see this one. Yeah. Ah, how is it taking me back to the password? I mean, to the email that I entered. Adeshola Oneyide1@gmail.com. Yeah, so what's wrong with this email? Yes, this is the email.
I hope Mr. Charles is still with us. Please be looking at my screen. Look at what I'm doing. I'm trying to prepare what our board will look like. So you have to do, you have groomed, you have in progress. Instead of in progress, I can edit it to say in development, in dev. Then I can.
But now, why don't buy my name as my email address? Only please ensure your full name is not your email address.
Oh, why?
So to reject it, let me go. And that's the email address to assign for this work.
Yeah, let me. Do you have another email address? But I'm even
I do.
surprised. Why is it worried? My work email address has my full name, but maybe because it's a workplace email address.
Please ensure your full name is not an email address.
Wow.
So kò gbà.
Oh, that's QA. Okay.
Ó kàn dá mi padà síbẹ̀.
Okay, yeah. So
Ọmọ bíi kéèyàn máa fill form.
I get your
Ọmọ
point.
bíi kéèyàn máa fill form kó fẹ́ jump required.
Yeah. So let's go back and add more to the project team. Since we still have 10 slots, team, invite people. Okay, give me another email address you have that you have access to.
Okay. Okay. Wait, let me check. Let me check and give you the one that I'm sure I can still get I can remember the password.
Yeah.
And it's not my name.
Great.
Okay. Let's use this.
Okay. Go ahead.
Swag.
SU.
No, SW.
Oh. SWAG.
Yes, swag.
Just swag at gmail.com.
No. Swag 4.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay. Okay, I should put swag 1, 2, 3, 4, or just 4.
No. I'm saying swag 4. I'm now telling you the 4 is 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of number.
Oh, 4. Okay. Okay, swag 4.
Africa.
Africa.
At gmail.com.
Okay.
That's swag for Africa at gmail.com.
Yeah, can you see my screen?
Let me go and check your screen. Yes, I can see your screen.
Is it correct?
Exactly. swagforafrica@gmail.com. Absolutely.
All right, great. Add one person. All right, so please try and log in now.
Oh yeah, let me go and check that.
So while you're doing that, I'm trying to organize our board to see how things will go when we start our sprint. So we have our to-do list, we have our groomed, our in development.
Yeah, it has sent me an invite on Swag for
Excellent.
Africa.
Excellent.
So let me accept and join Jira. It's just that, like you said, yes, the website is heavy.
Yeah, it's a heavy website, trust me. You can imagine the memory usage currently by the site from my system is 613 megabytes.
Wow.
Yeah, whereas YouTube commonly uses like 200.
So now this is the platform
Let me just open
that you use.
So we said it defaults to
for sprint.
Exactly. So I want to, because once you log in now, I can show you what an active sprint looks like. So look at the backlog now. It's already telling me Scrum Sprint 1. So let's say we're starting a sprint today because we've gathered all these stories and we're starting a sprint today. All I need to do is to edit this. I can, instead of calling this Scrum Sprint 1, I can say Ekiti Coop Project. Ekiti Sprint 1. And then customize. You can see that it's between 1 and 4 weeks standardly, right?
Yes.
Yeah, but you can customize it. You can make it 10 days. You can make it anything. It's up to you. So we all in my company we like to say custom, and then we choose, because my company we love to run from a Wednesday to a Tuesday. I don't know why, but it's just the decision of maybe the program directors. They just chose it. Maybe they feel midweek is better to switch. So let's say we switch, but we are starting today. So if we start our own sprint today, we can move from a Saturday to a Friday, right? So if I choose this 12, but I have to adjust the time to 12 a.m. And then I can say we're running a 2-week sprint, means by 25th Friday. That will be when our sprint 1 will be over. Then we both, everyone is in the meeting, so we can all agree on the sprint goal to say, okay, we want to achieve 100% development.
Okay. And the advantage of this is that irrespective of location, everybody can see what is going on.
Excellent. This is like
you won't need slides. You won't need slide or present, so everybody can see the interface. You can be altering those things together. Everybody can see it.
Excellent. I can also create a future sprint, even while I've not started the first sprint. I can create a future sprint. I'll just come to this corner, create sprint, and it will automatically turn into a Kitty Coop sprint 2. And you can see, because this is October 12 to 25, is already suggesting this to be 26 to November 8.
Which one is plan your sprint? Is that where to create sprint?
That's create sprints. Look at it here. On this,
I'm still looking for the create sprint.
The right side of my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah, so to the right here, there is a tab called Create Sprint. On top of the backlog, you can see this backlog.
On the top, right?
Yeah, on the top here, Create Sprint. You can see my cursor moving around it.
Okay.
Yeah, Create Sprint. Okay, so now I want to move some stories to my sprint 1. And in your sprint planning meeting, you can already pre-move some stories to sprint 1, sprint 2. Well, already the stories you want to do first and the ones you do in the next sprint and so on. So
how do you do the movement?
Okay, so that's what I want to do. You can either right click on it and then it will tell you move to. Can you see?
Okay. So now, if you have created, say, 5 sprints, so it will tell you move to. So you will say that sprint 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Correct. So let's say this one goes to sprint 1. Business requirements should go to sprint 1. Build UI interface, let's say sprint 1. Get API details, sprint 1. But let's say build backend server, that will be sprint 2. integrate backend server with database. That will be sprint 2. QA for this thing, that might even be sprint 3. So I can decide to create sprint 3 now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see once I create sprint 3, now you see option 3 will come. QA will be in sprint 3, UAT2 will be in sprint 3. I can create sprint 4 and say performance testing and training will be in sprint 4. So this was what I was saying when I was mentioning backlog. You can see now I've almost depleted my backlog. It's only one more story that is left there.
Okay.
I just hope Mr. Charles is with us. That's my I can't see
The
him.
good thing is that the session is recorded. No, Mr. Charles is not here.
Okay. Yeah,
Only
so
2 of us are here.
okay. So you can see how easy it is now. So what we can agree now is if you agree with me, we can start the sprint so that you can see what starting a sprint looks like. And then you will see the changes that will occur here because once I click on start sprint, one extra line will be added there that will call active sprint. So let me start the sprint. I'll click start. So this is my active sprint board. So you can see that all my stories are in to do. For me to now move this story from to do to groomed, there's a meeting we call grooming. We have to groom the stories. So when we're grooming a story, you open the story this way. Do you get it? You can see that under story, you have description.
Yes.
So this is where I will now write as a developer. I need to get security approval for API integration between Paystack and Ekiti Smart Coop, or is it Smart Coop, to ensure flow of data from both platforms. So you can see now that I've added as a user. I can say I want to get security approval for API integration between Paystack and SmartCube. Let me add all this to dictionary. I hate all these things. Paystack and SmartCube to ensure the flow of data from both platforms with appropriate security requirements. Okay, so and then that's the description I have. If I have more description now that are just details of everything that needs to be done, I can save. So that means I'm grooming the story. But don't forget, I will have several people with me on this. Now in the grooming tool, I get to assign it. But for now, I'm the only one that is on this project. So I will just click my name. Okay, so now every time we meet, that's every daily scrum. Are you still with me?
I'm with you.
Yeah, every daily scrum where we meet, we will be adding comments here.
I'm still wondering why it's also not taking this one. It's still saying, please ensure your full name is not an email.
Are you sure your name is not being imputed under where email should be? Did you have to fill a form? Let me do something.
Let me check.
Yeah, I hope you didn't have to fill it form. Let me add one of my email address and see what the
Okay,
process.
don't worry. Let me do something.
Okay.
Mm. He asked me to fill the form, which I'm doing. Email address, full name, then password.
Okay. Yeah, let me add my other email address. Joshua Jason 2014 at gmail.com. Okay, so I'll go to that email address now.
Now for this thing, I've even changed my name.
Yeah, just a moment. Let me quickly so I want to log in into my second email. I want to see the step it's taking you through so that I can guide appropriately too. Okay, so I have Atlassian, accept invite. Okay, okay, accept invite. It's saying, okay, when you accept the invite, it's asking you to enter full name and create a password.
Yes.
So let me put my full name and then create a password. My password would just be, let me get a sweet password. Okay, then I'll click continue. Yeah, it should just pop you straight. It should just ask you to put your full name and then password and then pop you into the platform straight.
Yes, but I click continue. It's now not going.
Ah, okay. When I click continue here, it just took me straight into what kind of work do you want to do? Enjoy the Jira experience.
Exactly. That's what I expected.
So I hope the challenge is not the network then.
Okay, maybe it's the network. I will check later.
Yeah, maybe the challenge is because I'm in with my other email address. So let me now go back. I'll share my screen now and then go back to our, okay, let me first get the Jira page. Share. Okay, you should be able to see my screen now. So now if I open this story, now that I have two assignees, okay, let me refresh this page. Normally, it's always good to refresh a page after you make a major change. Oh, it's still not dropping down my name, my second name. Or is this one the Joshua? Okay, this is the first one. Okay, let me go back to backlog and click assign and see. Okay, teams. Oh, I should have used. Okay, so these are the people on the call. This is my first one. Okay, so but I have my wife also joined now, so I should be able to see her on the project. So I don't know, it's maybe because we're using trial version, it's slow to populate the team members. I'm trying to check if you can see my screen. I'm trying to check the projects each person is on. Okay, create a plan. Okay, there's no work to see here. You probably haven't joined. Okay, manage access. Okay. Jira, unavailable user, product role. Okay. Okay, grant access. Product admin, grant access. Okay, so let me now go and check now. I hope you can still see my screen. Sorry, I'm trying to work on that access thing because I believe everyone should have access by now. Manage access. User access admin. Okay. Grant access. Product or product admin. Grant access. So all this access thing is done by a Jira administrator for the organization.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really not maybe a lot of things that I would do, except maybe in very rare occasion that I'm the one that comes to do this. There's always a Jira administrator that you reach out to when you run into trouble like this. So at any point where you find yourself on an interface where you don't understand again, just come back to this project, click the drop down, and you see the name of your project under recent. If you can't see it under reset, just come to view all projects and then you go and search for your project name and then you can, at least it will return you back to your familiar page.
Okay.
You understand? So at every point where you want to see a view of all your stories at once, come to backlog. Backlog will give you the view of all your stories as distributed into different sprints, and your backlog will be at the base. Always, your backlog will always be below here. And then you have different sprints. Now, here you're seeing the board. The board, anywhere you see board or active sprint, where you see this colon, is telling you that's the active sprint you're currently working on. So let's say I've added all the details to this and I've been able to, I don't know why it's not assigning yet, but I should have more names here because but I would refresh and keep refreshing until we get that. So if I have more names here, I can assign to them, but I'll just assign to myself for now. Another thing is, remember what we call when we talk about the Fibonacci sequence, and we said there will be story point estimation. This is where you put that estimation. So you can put an estimation and say, okay, for us to get security approval for API integration, that might be 8 points. So you just put the 8 points here. So story point estimate, you can now see that my sprint will start having story point total. You can see the 8 point I added. Look at it here. So I can add line story point to all these, and it will tell me the velocity of this sprint once it is done. Once all the 4 stories is done, or the total story point estimate that we planned for this sprint. So let's say for me to get to write business requirement document, let's say that would be like 13 points because it might require several meetings. I'm just bringing, and then I would assign to someone. And then sometimes we put labels so that we can create filters later. But for now, maybe to keep it simple, I'll just leave it there since we'll still touch base on this many times. before our 30 days would expire. So let's say this one is just 3. Okay, build a UI interface. Let's give it 8.2. Okay. I've assigned to someone, and then I would also, sometimes some program managers or directors will insist that you get what you call a development due date. If you open the story in full, we will see the due date. Oh, now you're here. You're in now. I can see your name.
Oh, really?
Yeah, now you're in. But surprisingly, my wife also says she's signed in, but I can't see her name. In the drop down.
So which one is in?
Oh, she can see my name. So I'm the one. It's like it's on my own platform that is having issues. Oh, wow. I think she was the one that even assigned you to this story because I just saw the names pop up. But can you see that your name is here now as assigned to this story, this number 3 story?
Okay, yes.
Yeah, you can see this is your name. So let's go, and here Swag for Africa is also in, and Swag for Africa is also assigned to this story.
Okay, so both Adeshole Onide one and Swag for Africa
Has been accepted. Yeah, is in. So you can log in with either one now. At least I can see, then I can change this, get API details, might just be like 3 points story. So now looking at this now, the total estimated story point that we're going into this sprint with will be 16 plus 13 plus 3. So that's 32. So everything I was saying last week that looks theoretical, you can now see them practically, right?
Yes.
How they go on the real project. So this is so every day we go through our sprints, we go through each of our stories, and then we say the one that is assigned to me as a scrum master, I would have to put a comment on what did I do, what's needed to be done, and all those things. So if there's a key comment, I can say at Oniyide, oh, is not bringing your name, invite teammates to Jira. I don't know why it should bring your name at. So it looks like on my end, I'm having some challenge. I'm not having the drop down, and it looks like you guys are having the drop down. I don't know why, but just at least you understand what I mean now. So I'll just say at Joshua Kolawole.
Yes.
Can you provide? In fact, it looks like my wife is having more control over this Jira interface than me. She's just changing assignee, and I'm not even able to change assignee on my end. Yeah. Okay, so can you provide so let's say I need this person to provide a certain detail on the security approval process, and he's not responding, or he was not able to join the meeting. I can just say, can you provide update on the security approval process? If you want to be nice, you can say thank you. And if you don't want, some people are not so nice. And then you save. And that comment becomes saved permanently for life until it's deleted. So that's one part. Yeah, so at least now you're knowing your way around. It will take a while for you to get comfortable with Jira, so don't worry. Don't push it. Even for some interface, I still struggle. Maybe that would encourage you, right? For some interface, because different companies have different Jira interfaces based on what the Jira administrator has configured. So if you join a new team, that's why they will give you like a week or two to familiarize yourself with their Jira page. But at least they want to be sure you at least have this basic understanding of where to look for a project, where the dashboard is. With time, we'll talk about dashboard. Your team members. I can decide to say I'm creating a team, and I will bring everyone here. I don't know if it's able to Oluwabukola. Okay. Adeshola Onide. Ade. Did you put any name for swag? Swag for Africa. So you can see we can create a team and call ourselves Project Ekiti Team. You understand? And then anyone can join this team without approval. Maybe we should not allow that, right? Then we can just say create a team. So we already have a team created. And then so sometimes when you want to assign, it might ask if you want to. I don't know why my own assignee drop down is not working properly. It's ridiculous. And I'm supposed to be the board owner. So okay, let me see if drop down will work well. It's still not. Okay, so you can see what a sprint looks like now. So once you're good with this story, you move it to groomed. You're supposed to be able to drag it. I don't know why this is not getting itself dragged. But if it doesn't get itself dragged, there's one sweet thing you can do. If you open it here, you can move it to grow. Okay, it's even showing grow. So it's my own Jira page that is slowing down. Why? Okay, now it has moved. And now when the development team guys are started working on it, you can move it to dev. So you can also alternatively move it to in dev here, and then it will move. So by the time I see it, it's already in dev. Can you see? This is exactly the same kind of board we say Kanban does. But in Kanban, don't forget you have to do, in progress, done. But you can see in Scrum, I'm able to split it more into grooming, in dev, QA. In some organization, I can even add UAT, user acceptance testing. And I can say UAT/performance testing. And then I would, once it creates that, I would just drag it and come and put it after QA. So that means from to do to groom to in dev to QA to UAT to done, and that'll be fine. Are you still here?
Yes, I am.
Oh, great. Okay, sorry, I wasn't hearing anything again. That's why I needed to check. Okay, so you can see that the one in dev is showing in dev. Once we say we're good with all this story, we can move them to groomed. But that means we must have all discussed what all the technical requirement is. Grooming means everyone on the team has agreed on the technical requirement and we have imputed the acceptance criteria for the story. So I can decide to open the story in full so that because sometimes it's better to just open this story. You can copy link, you can move the story, you can open it directly here. It just gives you different forms of interfaces to be able to open. So you can see because we have an epic created, it's telling you that you can filter by epic, but we've given all our stories to the same epic. Let's say we now have a secondary in another epic, then we can filter using this quick filter that is up here. So that is how the interface looks like. I think I'll allow you try and sign in when you have a better network and then peruse it. And if you have questions, then we can discuss. I hope that's fine. Feel free to make mistakes and go around and just move things and yeah, I'm just trying to add I'll create a dashboard. So viewers cannot be private too. I'll need viewers to be everybody. Add. Okay, so then let me save. Viewers, editors, and then save. Okay, so it gives me, you're currently editing your dashboard. Changes will be saved here automatically. So add a new widget here. So I think there's this thing called table. You need to know the name of the widget, and it's always a tricky one. If you want a roadmap created, okay, let me add a roadmap. Let me say add, and it ask you to the project to display all projects executable, number of results 10, refresh intervals, let's say every 30 minutes. Then I'll tell it to save. Oh, no project. Then save. We're no longer supporting 5 of your gadgets. Why is it not supporting my gadget? Starting December 19, we're removing the functionality of Jira Roadmap. Imagine. Wow. Okay. Yeah, let me remove this. Delete, delete. Let me go and get another widget that will show me. Okay, let's see if pie chart would work. Refresh every 15 minutes. Assignee, no. I want it to be based on stories or based on sprint. Yeah, Ekiti. Coop. Yeah, then save. Okay, so it will tell us based on the sprint. Are you with me, Dr. Shala? Oh, okay, you're on mute. All right. But it's recorded, so you can always get the hang of it. So I'm trying to create a tracking dashboard to make you see that Jira can also help you with several forms of dashboards to track what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can see now I created a pie chart dashboard for the project. This is where dashboard is. You can see on top here.
Yes.
Okay, so if you Ekiti Group Sprint 1, we have 4 stories in it. Group Sprint 2, we have 2 stories. Other sprint, we have 2, and the backlog and none, we have 2 stories. The ones that are not in sprint. So apart from pie chart, I can also look for, I'm actually looking for, let me check what this dashboard looks like. Just a second. Yeah, I have a dashboard open on my other screen. I want to know what the name of the widget is. It's not showing me the name of the widget. Refresh. Okay. Just a moment. Okay, it's not showing me the name of what the widget looks like, but I can search for it. Table. Um, okay, let me see this. Oh, this is just activity stream. No, 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 no. I don't want that. I can decide to say I don't want activity stream. Delete. That's too heavy. Add a new widget. Average number of times in status, average time bubble chart. I'm trying to get the name of the gadget. Days remaining in the sprint filter results. I think I should be able to use this. Okay, I don't have a save filter. I will probably go and create a save filter issue type. Okay, we can work on this dashboard later. I will get the names of all the usable gadgets so that we can use them later. So let's delete, but the common ones, you can use a pie chart and all those. So let's go back to the project view that you're used to. This is the timeline for the project. This is your epic, and then you have all these stories underneath it. I think you can do a drop down like this, and this drop down will actually show you the timeline for each of the stories that are created under it and their current status. So this gives you like a roadmap picture to what you're doing. For most of us that do presentations, maybe PowerPoint presentation, I can actually snipe this. I can snipe this out and take it to my PowerPoint presentation. I'll just move it to this point, and then I'll snipe it and then cut it out and then use it. So basically that's all about preliminary for Jira. Thank you so much. So like I don't want to elongate the recording.
All right. Thank you so much. I will still need to go and, when my network is better, log in into Jira and try and see some of these things. Then
Excellent.
if I have questions, I'll probably come and drop the questions.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, we have covered a lot. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. My regards to Mr. Charles when you get to speak to him.
All right, sir. Thank